Welcome to the DCEU podcast. I'm Lancer2814 with the Proctorious, and we're going to talk about the misconception of the Snyder Cut movement and how some people think we're a pack of rabid dogs who are really just want a goddamn movie that's already been made. So I want to start with you, Proctor. Did you see Ed Boon comment about my videos?
I seen his tweet. I couldn't believe it. I didn't tweet anything because I would get really angry about it. But
Yeah.
the ignorance, it gloomed. It absolutely gloomed the ignorance of him. Like, he evidently did not click on either of your videos.
Yeah.
He evidently put no effort into trying to explain himself. He's just put that tweet out, and I guarantee he's feeling a bit embarrassed about it because of all the replies he got of people defending you.
Yeah. I was surprised how many people came out and defended.
Do you want to explain to your fans what happened, though? Because some people don't have Twitter, don't they? So.
Yes. For those of you who don't know, Ed Boon, the co-creator of Mortal Kombat, somehow came across my videos. I don't know if it was a recommendations that he got or something, but two of my videos came up. One that said the Snyder Cut doesn't exist and exclamation points, which was the parody video of Collider. And the other video was the Snyder Cut is better, in quotes. That was talking about Jason Momoa and Ray Fisher and how they said the Snyder Cut was better than what was released in theaters. So, that happened.
Yeah, I think everyone saw both your videos and understood your taglines.
Anybody that saw the two videos knows exactly what they were. And Ed Boon was trying to say that since the video titles were contradicting each other, that it was clickbait.
He said that you contradicted yourself.
Yeah. Even though I gain nothing from these videos. I don't get paid from these videos,
You're only doing it to help a movement. It's all positive. You're doing everything you're doing is positive. Yeah, and he's trying to bring it down.
The only negative things I did were like the Star Wars rant or like a Marvel rant, but like those are like once a year, I try not to focus on that stuff.
It's just I absolutely adore Mortal Kombat. It's without a doubt my favorite fighting game. Injustice is alongside that too, but the ignorance of him is unbelievable. He tweeted, I think the exact words were, "How can this be?" Because of the internet.
Well, watch the videos.
Watch the videos, and then I'll explain it to you.
Yeah,
it just shows how absolutely ignorant he is, and he doesn't care for the movement at all. And then he tried to defend himself on the comments, saying he wasn't attacking Snyder.
Exactly, but then you look at his followers. I think he has close to 400,000 followers or something like that.
He's got 370,000.
So just that alone means that at least 100,000 people, new eyes, saw the Snyder Cut movement. Good or bad, So, I mean, we're only making progress. I gained some subscribers from it.
A lot of subscribers.
That video, the Snyder Cut is better, got over 10,000 views after that tweet was made. So, I mean, we're definitely getting a lot more eyes on this.
Yeah, you definitely. The Snyder Cut doesn't exist. Didn't it go up about 1,000 views after it, maybe?
Yes.
I think all your videos started slowly, because I remember I was on your channel and they started popping up a bit more. Your Aquaman trailer breakdown went up a bit more too.
Exactly. And I just want to make a small announcement. I'm going to be purging my videos. I'll keep the very first one I ever made because that's just historical. But a lot of them that are low quality and stuff, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of. So if anybody wants to watch them, just go ahead and watch them. I'm going to get rid of them by the end of this week. So just letting everybody know that. Anyway, back to what you were saying.
Good little shout out.
What else about Ed Boon?
It was very disrespectful. That's all I got from it. I didn't get any. I think his ego spoke more than anything there. And you've only made Mortal Kombat. You're never going to be remembered, Ed Boon. So
I think he's going to be remembered more than I will.
No. If we get the Snyder Cut, he won't be. You'll be remembered as a hero.
A hero. Savior.
You'll be infamous for being a hater.
A personal invite from Zack Snyder to his theater. That's the dream.
That is the dream. That would be amazing.
I didn't feel too disrespected by it. I instantly knew that he didn't watch it, when he posted that. Because everybody that was defending me were people that actually watched the videos, and you know, a lot of them liked the one where I was making fun of Collider. A lot of people liked that one.
I think you can tell with the exclamation marks that you were like taking the mick. Like, I just don't get it. But yeah, let's not give him any more attention than he already has.
But that kind of feeds into the misconception about the movement, right? People just want to assume we're crazy fans. We're just doing shit for clickbait.
Yep. It's always the most popular people as well. The most influential people seem to think that this movement's just a joke.
Yeah. But
that Collider video is proof of it. Like how much they just laugh at it. Like,
yeah.
oh,
they were total snobs.
They're trying to fight for a cut that doesn't exist, and they started laughing. And I was just thinking to myself, like, shut up. It obviously does. You're the sillier ones for thinking that it doesn't exist. Like Joel even said it exists. Someone who worked on the film, like.
Despite all the evidence, right?
Yeah. Oh, that video is unbelievable.
And when we go back to like the James Gunn petition, it really gets me sad that many people would sign a petition for that and not the Snyder Cut because of the misconception we have, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I'm telling you, if the media was behind us from day one, we would have over 500,000 people right now on our side, right? They can easily convince their audiences to support this, but they choose not to for some reason. Probably because they just want to be right. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I think it's because day one, when we started fighting for the Snyder Cut, every media outlet was posting that it doesn't exist. So from then on, they couldn't go back on it. They couldn't help us out. So as soon as Jay Lever said that the Snyder Cut exists, they were instantly like, crap, what are we going to do? We can't exactly turn around and say, we were wrong, it exists. Yeah, they've got to double down to keep their integrity.
I mean, it's clear that we're just wanting a director's cut of a movie that was promised to us, right? And that Zack Snyder deserves, because like you're allowed to have a director's cut if you're a director. I don't understand what the dilemma is releasing this. If you like films at all, if you like directors' visions, you should want a Snyder cut.
Definitely.
It comes down to that. That's how simple it is.
Like no one with any knowledge of Snyder would watch Justice League and say that Joss Whedon, Jeff Johns, and Warner Brothers kept his vision. If you say that, you're not a Snyder fan. You're not a film fan that understands film, and you're most certainly not a DC fan.
Justice League was clearly a studio film.
It was so. If you tell me Justice League is a Snyder film, you're wrong. You are wrong. Just watch all these films. Like Legends of the Guardian was more of a darker, more of a DC film than Justice League was. Like
exactly.
Well, not actually because it was about owls, but it was a darker film than Justice League was.
Heads were getting cut off in the owl movie.
Yeah, it was a brilliant. Yeah, it was a cool movie. Very cool. Yeah. Had better CGI than Justice League as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, have you noticed how it seems to be a misconception with fans of Snyder? Like, I'm a really like hardcore fan of Nolan, but I've never been called a Nolan fanboy. But when I say I'm a fan of Snyder, I'm instantly a Snyder fanboy who knows nothing about films, and I'm just worshipping a crappy director. But yet, when I worship Nolan, it's not a Nolan fanboy. I'm just a normal person because he's an unbelievable director.
Exactly.
So how does that work?
People just pick and choose what you can and can't like.
Yeah.
Even though Zack Snyder, I mean, his movies are like, I enjoy watching them like repeatedly, like more than Nolan's movies.
Yeah, same. Like genuinely, I will openly admit I am 100% a Snyder fanboy. I know what fanboy means. I'm an Assassin's Creed fanboy. I'm a Snyder fanboy. I'm a DC fanboy. I will defend them to like death's doors, to my coffin. I will defend Snyder. I am 100% a Snyder fanboy. I will admit it on this podcast without a doubt. He's my favourite director. He's been my favourite director for ages. He overtook Nolan as my favourite director with Man of Steel and BVS. And every film he comes out will be an amazing film to me, unless it's Justice League. I've said the same about Nolan. Every single film Nolan releases, I'm going to adore. And I just know I'm going to adore it. I'll get anxious before film releases. Yeah, I'll get really anxious, but then I see it and I go, right, yeah, I'm fine now. Like, up until Dunkirk, when I was in the car driving to Newcastle to go and see it in IMAX. I was so nervous. I was like, oh no, this is going to be his first film. What if it's a bad film? What if I lose respect for Nolan as a director? No, this can't happen because I get really excited for Nolan films. And then I walked out of Dunkirk with the biggest smile on my face ever. And it's the same for going to see Snyder's films. Before BVS, I was really worried because the trailers didn't really do that much for me, except the Batman warehouse scene. The trailers, especially the one that showed Doomsday, I was like, ugh. I was a bit like, I'm a bit put down by this. And then I came out the film with a bigger smile on my face. One of my favorite films. Yeah. If not, it's in my top 3 films.
Me too. That Doomsday scene, I can't imagine another villain that could have matched the Batman versus Superman fight, unless it was like Darkseid or something. But you needed a big villain like that. And I think it was a studio decision, but I think Zack Snyder made it work either way. But
I think in his head it was still Metallo.
Yeah.
But because he's admitted that wasn't Doomsday. It wasn't the one we know and love. So I think in his head he still knows it's Metallo, but he was just satisfying Warner Bros. By doing it a little Doomsday reference in there.
Yeah, it was still a monster created by Lex Luthor at the end of the day. That's what it was.
It was still awesome. I didn't like his design that much. I loved it towards the end when he started getting the crystals out of him, but he did look a bit of a slimy Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle ripoff or something.
Yes, I liked it better when the spikes were coming out of him. I wish they would have went a step further and had more bones coming out of him and stuff. That's probably the thing that was really missing.
I know the fight went on long, but I could have had that fight a lot longer.
Oh yeah, man, dude, that's all I want from a superhero film. I just want a 40-minute action scene like that. That's so awesome.
I do wish. I know, even though I say it's a masterpiece, even though I say it's 10 out of 10, there's no such thing as a perfect film. There isn't. Everyone will agree with that comment. Everyone, DC fans, Star Wars fans, every single fan will agree that there's no such thing as a perfect film.
Except for the SpongeBob movie, of course.
Except for the SpongeBob, and obviously except for The Room, but
yes.
Except for them, there's no such thing as a perfect movie.
Exactly.
Gods of Egypt obviously is perfect, but except for that, nothing gets close to Gods of Egypt though. But except for that, there's no such thing as a perfect film, and I don't want to contradict myself by saying a problem with BVS, but the one thing I would have changed about BVS was a longer Batman vs Superman fight scene. And I know people will come back with, they couldn't have done that because Superman's too overpowered, but couldn't they have? Couldn't they have extended it a little bit?
Did another 5-10 minutes of that fight.
Yeah, The Dark Knight Returns. Oh my! That Batman vs Superman fight scene is incredible. Joe Lever, if you ever watch these videos, you are a god.
I hope
the music, everything put together.
I tag him enough in these videos.
When Batman picks up, I'm not sure what they're called, in the construction yard, and starts smacking Superman with them. Oh, it was so cool.
I love the soundtrack of that movie too.
But the BVS fight scene was perfect.
Oh yeah,
it was absolutely unbelievable for what we got. But I would have liked a bit longer of Superman and Batman punching each other and doing the cool attacks. That scene when the music starts, it goes quiet and it goes doodle, and then it goes da 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 da. Batman's proper going for it at Superman. And the rain's dropping and Larry Fong's doing his thing, and my heart's just pumping like crazy. I'm like, doo, 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 doo. It felt crazy. It felt like watching The Return of the Jedi, Luke versus Darth Vader scene for the first time.
Yep.
It was crazy. My heart was pumping. Everyone in the cinemas was holding the seats in that because you didn't know who to root for. Because these are characters you both any DC fan will adore both of these characters. You can't hate Batman because Batman is just a beautiful man and he's a beautiful character.
From his perspective, Superman is the villain. So it's just all about perspective.
I remember watching BVS in the first half an hour. Even I was going, God damn it, Superman killed all them people. How dare he kill all them people? Batman's in the right. So when you come to the fight, I was torn. I was like, who do I want to win? Do I want Batman to absolutely destroy Superman? Am I happy when Superman's fighting back? I was like, I don't know who to root for. I was just really like,
that's a sign of a good movie, right?
Yeah,
It wasn't clear cut at all. You had to make a decision,
You had to make it, that's what I mean. You had to decide who you thought was in the right and who you thought was in the wrong. And ultimately, I don't think anyone can say anyone was in the right or wrong.
Yeah.
Because from Batman's perspective, it did seem very, very fishy. It was very horrible that Superman, not what he did, but And I know he couldn't have helped what he did. He was a rookie Superman. He didn't know his full potential of his powers. He can't help it if a building falls down when a god's fighting him. Or maybe not a god, like when Zod's fighting him. Like, he couldn't have helped what happened there. But from Batman's perspective, Batman lost what we're assuming is a very, very, very close business friend. Nearly got a little girl killed right in front of him. Like,
yeah. That mother
died,
just like his mother, you know?
Yeah,
Brings back that post-traumatic stress, and the first thing he sees is Superman above him. Of course he's going to, you know, blame Superman for everything, right?
Everyone watching the film did. We were all blaming Superman. I was anyway. I was like, damn it, Superman, why have you done this?
But from Superman's perspective, you know, Batman was a pretty brutal guy. That's branding people.
Yeah, Superman's perspective was a lot of like the haters of BVS's perspective. Thought Batman went too far and such.
Yeah, Batman's killing. He's not a hero.
I think Snyder agrees with the fact that Batman went too far, but that's his character.
That was the point of the movie, though.
That's why people love The Dark Knight Returns, Frank Miller's version of Batman, because that's a realistic Batman. If you've been fighting crime and not really changing much for that long, you are going to start getting sick of it. You've lost your closest friend, Dick Grayson, like without a doubt your closest friend. You've just got nothing really. You haven't got parents. All you've got is Alfred, yourself, and Gotham.
Yeah.
So what you're getting sick of it, not doing like nothing getting happening to these criminals. You're going to end up thinking, oh, if they die, they die. I'm not even bothered anymore. I'm not going out of my way to try and protect them. Like every single death a criminal gets in BVS is collateral damage.
Yeah.
Every single death.
It's all their fault, really.
It's their fault, yeah.
For being in that situation and shooting at Batman. You know, of course he's going to shoot back. You know,
I'm trying to think of a scene where Batman actually went out of his way to kill someone, but he doesn't.
He doesn't.
If you watch the film carefully, he doesn't. Like, I know people say that film where he punches the guy and his head smashes into the floor, that he'd be dead from it, but I don't think he would have.
His head went through the floor.
Yeah. Like, a lot of damage, but not dead. Like, because if Batman wanted to kill, he wouldn't have been snapping arms, would he? He wouldn't have snapped someone's arm to make sure that they're clearly on the floor, knocked out. He'd have stomped on their head, or he'd have used some. Why did he have a gun that disarmed them? Why didn't he just have a rocket launcher when he was sat up on there? If he wanted to kill them, he'd use a rocket launcher and blow them all up, and we wouldn't have had an awesome Batman fight scene in the warehouse. He obviously didn't want to kill him.
But like the guy pulling his own grenade, and then Batman kicks him, and then he tries to go for the grenade. Like, of course that guy should die. Like, why would he try to go pick up that grenade?
It was the quickest way, the quickest solution to make sure he wasn't killed was to quickly kick someone to make him drop the grenade. Otherwise, he was going to have to defend himself against a grenade.
It's the guy's decision to go after the grenade. It was the
smartest decision, which is what we know Batman for. Is his smartest decisions.
He wasn't playing around either.
I think they released a Batman vs Superman art book or something, a concept book, and it showed that Batman's suit was like stab-proof, bulletproof, but it was very lightweight in certain areas, so he could still be very fluent and stuff. Like, Snyder thought of everything.
Yeah, he did.
He really did. Like, the bullets as well that Batman was using and them Gatling guns to fight Superman apparently would have felt like it would have felt like a bag getting shot at us in real life to Superman. It would have hurt Superman. It wasn't going to, like, damage him severely, but it was hurting Superman. Like, it was really, like, annoying to him, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
That's why he was getting really angry.
Yeah. I mean, like, the sound waves that he was using against Superman, like, that was just annoying Superman.
Yeah.
Superman was, I mean, he tried everything to stop the fight before it happened, right? I mean, he was yelling at Batman that's about to say, like, Lex Luthor is doing this to us, you know, like, but, you know, Batman doesn't want to listen at that point.
He doesn't. Batman already made his mind up, didn't he? Yeah. He wasn't bothered.
Yeah. But anyway, that's another misconception, right? You know, there's this huge...
Every single Snyder film.
Yeah.
Everyone misconceives it.
Yeah. Like, everyone thinks Sucker Punch is some kind of, like, rape fantasy movie. There's nothing to do with that. Yeah, it's the
most progressive female lead. Like, that's crazy. His wife was... Well, didn't his wife co-produce it? Actually, she co-produces every film, doesn't she?
Yeah.
So are you seriously telling me that she was sat there going, oh, yeah, I'm going to fulfill my husband's rape fantasy? Like, I don't think so.
And it was a female team-up movie, you know?
Yeah. Like, showing females doing insanely awesome stuff.
And all everybody can talk about is how they're dressed in skimpy clothes. Like, that's all they can talk about.
When Joss Whedon does a funny flash lands on Wonder Woman's boob scene, he gets praised for it.
It's all laugh, right?
Yeah, it's all laughs, yeah.
that kind of comes back to why we are still supporting the Snyder Cut, because I don't think he's ever gotten a fair shake. And him not getting his Justice League director's cut, it's even more of an example of him not getting his fair shake, right? He's not getting his fair due. He made a great film, and they're not going to release it until we fucking demand it.
That's what I mean. Like, no film he's released has been universally praised. Like, even 300, I don't think it got destroyed, but I think it did very mediocre in reviews.
Oh, when it came out, though, people were loving it, though. Everyone that saw the movie in theaters was losing their minds over it. They loved it.
Every single person I've met knows what 300 is and says it's one of the best films like out there. Like, the action sequences were insane.
It's the critics that always, downplay it,
Yeah, like, what's their problem with Snyder? Like,
is it jealousy? It's something like that.
What is it?
I don't know.
Because they have such a hatred for him. I've never known anything like it. Like, in games, films, TV, like anything. Like, they have such a hatred for Zack Snyder. Like,
and I have no idea what he could have done. In like, was it because he didn't invite them on set for BBS? He wasn't, inviting them on set for all his other movies, right?
It is. It's like he's done absolutely nothing. Apparently, he's the nicest person in the world to meet. Apparently, he's the nicest person in the world to interview. Apparently, he's the nicest person in the world to work with. Everyone he works with says he's a genius. That all his decisions are genius. That he's unbelievably nice, respectful, polite, and like there's dickheads in the industry who get more respect from critics. Jeff Johns, who is apparently a dickhead to work with.
Yeah.
He gets all the praise in the world from everyone.
Same thing with Josh Whedon.
Josh Whedon, yeah. And
apparently he sucks to work with.
Meant to be the nicest guy in the world, and he gets nothing but destroyed. He loses a daughter through filming. What happens? He gets absolutely destroyed.
Yeah, they can't even lay off of him.
Yeah, like let him chill out. Like,
but
I know we want to see Snyder Cut, but it doesn't mean we're asking anything from Zack Snyder, because Warner Brothers could finish it and release it themselves for us.
He already made the film,
Yeah, he's already made the film. Like, he can relax. I definitely want another film from Zack Snyder, but I can't imagine losing a daughter. Like, I can't imagine what he was going through. That's why I wasn't too annoyed when he first announced that he was leaving. Yeah, because I was like, God, I can't imagine the pain he's going
trying
through.
To work and stuff.
Yeah.
And, like, the fucking tweets after he left, and the people just trashing Zack Snyder, saying he deserved it and stuff like that. It was some sick stuff being said.
I remember seeing someone say that it was karma for destroying the DCEU, and I just felt sick.
Yeah, like, fucking hell. I can't imagine another director doing the shit he attempted to do,
I think it was an interview for Man of Steel. Like, he actually said that he was making the film for fans because he was making it for himself, and he's a hardcore Superman fan, so he made the film for himself. So in a way, he was making it for fans.
Yeah,
and like it shows. There's so many people that adore Man of Steel because it's so comic accurate.
It is. WB was not going to do the Kansas thing. They weren't going to do the mom and pop kids.
Yeah.
They were going to get rid of all that, and he saved it, and no one could give him credit for it.
He just gets slated beyond belief.
He saved Watchmen, too. They were going to make it a modern-day movie. It had to do with the Afghan war and stuff. And he saved that, too. And, I mean, now Watchmen's getting, like, the recognition it deserves. But when it was released, nobody really saw it. I mean, critics were trying to trash it as much as possible. But,
I do wish Sucker Punch got the credit it deserved, though. Like, I always see people hate on Sucker Punch, and I don't believe it's warranted.
It's not at all. I mean, you could clearly tell that the movie is about feminist empowerment, like...
Yeah, exactly.
Women making their own decisions and stuff like that. That's what the whole fucking movie's about. And you would think everybody would love it, right?
Nope.
Not the case.
But Warner Bros. Distributed it. They always distribute it.
Oh, yeah, they obviously have no problem making his film, right? It's releasing the thing they got a problem with. They can never release a Zack Snyder film.
It's crazy to think Zack Snyder and James Gunn collaborated on a film.
Which film was that?
Dawn of the Dead. James Gunn wrote Dawn of the Dead.
Oh, he did?
Yeah,
I had no idea.
And Zack Snyder directed it. How crazy is that?
That's fucking crazy. I mean, Zack Snyder... probably took out all the kid fucking jokes, right?
Got rid of all them ones.
Yeah. It's like, why you gotta keep putting these jokes in here, James Gunn?
I bet that zombie baby, I bet a lot of dark stuff was going to happen, and
Right?
Zack Snyder
Maybe that
was like,
was
no,
James
no, no,
Gunn.
no, no.
That's probably James Gunn's idea.
And they quickly got rid of that.
Um,
I absolutely love Dawn of the Dead. It's such a good film.
Another great movie that doesn't get enough credit, right?
Yeah. I'm certain Zack Snyder actually written a sequel to it, and it just never got made.
Yeah, they should have did it. They should have did a sequel to it immediately. It was amazing.
Yeah, it says here on Wikipedia there was a potential sequel that Zack Snyder actually finished a script called Army of the Dead, and that Universal Studios had picked it up with Warner Bros. Entertainment. Some guy called Matthias something, a Dutch filmmaker who made The Thing, the 2011 one, was meant to direct it, and that was it. That's the last we've ever heard of it.
Damn, I would have loved to see that movie, man.
Actually, it tends to be any film he writes but doesn't direct is just a bit crap. Like this 300 sequel, I thought was abysmal. Like that has been completely my opinion.
Yeah, I like it. I feel like the music saves the movie a lot. Like if you didn't have Junkie that soundtrack, I mean, it would have been bad, like really bad.
I just think it went. I don't know who the director was, but he was a bit. I don't know. He just didn't understand that universe.
But Junkie's music, I still listen to that soundtrack today. Yeah. I like the music a lot.
Like there was an article I was reading about like Hans Zimmer's production company. I can't remember what it's called, but loads of people are part of it. And in a lot of movies, Hans Zimmer uses his name, but he's not actually the one who composed the song. They just use his name because it's a bigger name. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
And it'll attract more people to see the film. Because I heard, I don't want to like start anything, but what I've heard is BVS, the soundtrack was entirely done by Junkie, and Hans Zimmer just was credited on it. But it was entirely done by Junkie XL. All BVS's music was Junkie's music.
I mean, if you watch Junkie's YouTube channel, he has a YouTube channel where he talks about, all his, scores and stuff. He talks about the BVS score, and it's like he did the whole thing, like he has it all on his computer and stuff. So I would believe that. And he was on the set for Man of Steel the whole time with Hans Zimmer. So I bet he was helping Hans Zimmer the whole time.
Definitely. I genuinely believe that he did practically all of BVS.
So it's even more of a slap in the face that they kicked him off of the Justice League movie.
Yeah, that annoys me more than anything because, goddamn, the soundtrack was the one thing it was universally agreed. Man of Steel and BVS's soundtrack was superb.
Yeah, why would they change
Why would you get rid of him? Yeah.
Just to make the movie worse or something? Like, I don't understand. What was the point of changing it?
It's crazy. He did it. Have you seen Tomb Raider?
No, not yet. I hear you did good though.
Yeah. I was gonna say it's really good, really, really good. The film's really good as well. I really like.
Yeah, I have to check out that one.
He's an incredible producer, composer. Composer. Yeah. I think he is a producer, DJ as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Doesn't he do trance music or something?
Like dubstep stuff. I don't know, he used to do something like that. He started out just being a DJ.
Yeah, didn't he do the Wonder Woman theme song?
Well, it was either him or Hans Zimmer.
Yeah, the
best fucking music, and we only hear it once in Justice League.
Yeah,
it's fucking ridiculous.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Like the Wonder Woman composer, he made his whole soundtrack, his composition, just based off that one theme from BVS. Like the whole Wonder Woman soundtrack is just that same theme broken up. So, that's another misconception, right? Zack Snyder and his film, Batman vs. Superman, is still influencing these future films. Even Aquaman. Like, it looks like it's straight out of a Zack Snyder film, really.
I wonder how involved he was. Isn't that the only film that he's not the executive producer on? I'll just have a quick look. Oh, no, yeah, he is. He's executive producer on it.
Oh. Well, you could tell he was, James Wan was taking his cues from Zack Snyder because, like, when you look at that trailer, all the CG shots look like Zack Snyder. And they shot Aquaman the same time they shot Justice League. So, they couldn't do any major changes, right?
I don't think they will.
So whatever they were planning back then for Aquaman, they went through with.
I genuinely believe that from now on, we're never going to see Snyder-esque DC films. I think Aquaman's going to be a completely different film to what we expect it to be. I don't think it'll be that influenced by him.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be a lot of influence, but I think Aquaman's like one of the last ones. Like Shazam's going to have no influence by Snyder. Wonder Woman 2, no influence. But I feel like Aquaman's the one that, you're just going to feel it,
I don't know. I don't think so. I think the most Snyder-esque film we will get will be the Batman, if we get the Batman. Because I think Matt Reeves has a very similar, I don't know, I wouldn't say style at all, because Snyder's very unique, but he has a very similar feel to some extent. The Ape films feel like they could very much be done by Snyder. Except for the fact that if it was done by Snyder, it'd be 100% hated.
Right? I mean, that's the only thing that's going to help these movies is that it doesn't have Snyder's name on it, right?
Yeah. It could come out that actually Zack Snyder was the one who created the Godfather trilogy, and I bet everyone would start hating the Godfather trilogy.
Right?
Yeah. Exactly. That's how hated he is. Yeah. Imagine it gets announced, though, that Zack Snyder's directing a remake of The Godfather.
Right.
How crazy.
But, that's it for now, I guess. I mean, unless you have something else to say about Misconceptions.
There's so much. Man of Steel, probably, that was the start of, form of hate for Snyder. Because people were saying that he was ruining DC and he ruined the Superman character and it was too dark and he's too gritty of a filmmaker to be in DC.
Yeah, but I would rather what he did with Man of Steel than what any MCU movie has been,
Without a doubt. Man of Steel tops all Marvel films.
There's just so much weight to Man of Steel. And when he snaps Zod's neck, I wasn't expecting that when I saw it. It was just this amazing moment.
Exactly. You expect everything in Marvel films. You know everything that's coming from a mile off. With Man of Steel, you didn't expect anything. I didn't expect the intro scene to be set on Krypton.
Yeah. Nobody did. Nobody was thinking it was going to be 20 minutes on Krypton. But that's what he did. Yeah.
And it was awesome. Don't think anyone expected Batman to be that cool in BVS.
But other than that, what else do you want to talk about? The earth-shattering news from yesterday, or is it 2 days ago, that Zack Snyder wanted Robin to be Dick Grayson and be the dead Robin.
I think my biggest shock about that has got to be that it surprised everyone, considering when BVS first came out, there was a leak of a picture of a gravestone that said Richard, quotation marks, Dick Grayson. That did happen. I'm not the one imagining that. That did happen. It got leaked, didn't it? A gravestone in BVS. Yeah. So why is everyone suddenly going, oh, I thought it was Jason Todd? And then even then, there's no point getting upset about it because Warner Brothers have already confirmed that it was Jason Todd because they must have changed it themselves.
Yeah, he
they must have decided not to go. Yeah. So just because Zack Snyder's saying it now, it doesn't mean that's the thing. We've got a Nightwing film coming, so obviously that isn't. Well, we don't know whether it's coming anymore, but
I mean,
evidently
the director got off Twitter, so he might be thinking that there's going to be some backlash because he's been hyping up Nightwing and it might not happen, and that's why he's getting off Twitter.
Yeah, definitely. I was quite excited for Nightwing because he's quite a dark character, isn't he?
It is Dick Grayson. He is he's really likable.
Yeah.
But the reason he leaves Batman is because he's fed up with Batman, So, I mean, I want to see that. I mean, we're going to get a little bit of it in Titans, but, the movies, that's the story I want to see.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Robin going out on his own.
And the Jason Todd story, I've always wanted to see that in film, live action film.
But what I think about Zack Snyder killing off Dick Grayson was that it was just an original plan, right? Metallo was supposed to be a BVS, So a lot of stuff got changed about BVS. I'm sure he shot a scene where it was Dick Grayson's, grave and everything.
Yeah, panned across the grave. Yeah.
Oh yeah, but I'm sure he compromised and said he agreed with Warner Brothers probably and said it's probably best to leave that ambiguous and not tell the audience exactly which Robin it is.
Yeah, because in Suicide Squad they could have easily said on Harley's bio thing.
Yeah.
What did it say? It says Robin. It could have easily said kill Richard Grayson, kill Jason Todd. Why it said Robin. They chose to make it say Robin.
They kept it a mystery, really. I don't know if we're ever going to get a Batman film that actually goes into Robin dying. It seems like Warner Brothers doesn't want to do a dark movie, it's a little annoying.
Yeah, that'd have been a really good film just to see Batman's like
That's gonna be
fall.
amazing.
Yeah, but it's my one biggest problem with that is I absolutely would not want to see Carrie in this universe. That would not work.
Carrie Kelly, yeah, because that's another thing Zack Snyder confirmed was that Carrie Kelly was going to be Robin.
Ugh, I don't disagree with Snyder on a lot of things, but I disagree with him on that one. Jesus.
And I can understand that completely because Carrie Kelly is probably like the least popular Robin in history.
It just wouldn't work in this type of universe.
Yeah, and people didn't like her in The Dark Knight Returns.
I didn't know.
But that's the thing Zack Snyder wanted to do. He wanted to get to that point where we get a Dark Knight Returns movie, and I guess he wanted Carrie Kelly, but he never introduced her. It would be different if he introduced her in Batman vs Superman, right? Then we could be like getting outraged, but like he never even got to that point. Warner Brothers never let him get to that point, so I mean, it's all what ifs, right?
Definitely. I don't think it would have worked, though. I think it just wouldn't have worked with Ben Affleck as an actor. Wouldn't have worked with this Batman that he's created. Even the light-hearted version of Justice League, it would not have worked. I just don't think it would have worked in any scenario in the DCEU, and I don't think Snyder would have went through with it. If he was still in control now and he was doing these films still, I don't think we'd have ever seen Carrie Kelly.
Yeah, I don't think he was ever planning to make a Batman solo film. I don't think he was. His plans could change, right? I mean, Justice League supposed to be a 2-part movie. They changed that to 1 part, and he tried to make a 3-hour film, and they cut 2 hours out of it. So he lost all his say at some point.
It really does. It really does suck. As long as, if he was going to put Carrie Kelly in it, then it might not suck. But
that would have just been crazy to see Carrie Kelly over
seen someone
Jason
reply
Todd.
on. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't think anyone wants that.
Yeah. I mean, most people would rather Tim Drake.
Definitely. I would. I think someone replied on his Vero post about that, though, saying, in the Nightmare sequence, was that Carrie Kelly? Because Batman had quite a few female.
Could have been Batgirl, could have been Carrie Kelly.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
I don't think he replied to the comment.
So that would have been. Is seeing all this shit he's stirring up now. It's amazing.
Yeah, I think in this universe that not the DCEU as a whole, but this unit, like the Snyderverse of the DC universe, I do not believe Batgirl could have existed, Supergirl could have existed, and any character like these. I think Dick Grayson should be the only Robin. I don't think Tim Drake should have existed. I don't think Jason Todd should have existed. I think Snyder should have did a very grounded one like Nolan did with his Batman trilogy.
Yeah. I mean,
and kept it grounded with the main Justice League members.
And the only thing that annoyed me about Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight Rises is that he never named Robin. He just called him Robin. It's just so annoying to me. I'm like, just call him Tim or call him Jason. Like comic book fans are gonna get it. I obviously he did that so like the main audience, like the general audience, would understand that that's Robin.
And that guy who works for Bruce Wayne, who knows that he was Batman, what was he called? Mr. C or something. It's spelled out mystery.
Like Riddler or something.
Yeah. I don't know if that's just us looking too deep into it, but it was meant to be the Joker again in The Dark Knight Rises, wasn't it? Before Heath Ledger passed away.
Who? The guy who's
No, Nolan's third film, the final film, was meant to be about the Joker again.
Oh yeah, it was. But yeah, he passed away. There was even supposed to be a scene that they cut out of the movie where you see Joker from like the back of his head in a cell in Arkham, and Bane doesn't let him out. There's supposed to be a scene like that, but Christopher Nolan didn't do it. It's in the book. If you read the movie novel, there's a scene like that in the book. Of course, they didn't go through that.
Yeah.
But after all this Dick Grayson news, I think Zack Snyder's name. Just his name alone is drawing attention to the DCEU, And I think that by itself is a reason why he wouldn't ever, stop producing DC films. Because just him saying that Robin was Dick Grayson got coverage for, the last 3 days. So many eyes are on the DCEU because of that now.
Exactly, and what other film can you say that about? If someone came out now and said, the Avengers one... actually, blah, 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 blah. No one would pick it up. No one would care. Like that Joss Whedon said.
Josh Whedon said, something about Thanos was supposed to be a transvestite or something.
Yeah, no one would care. Everyone would just be like, all right, like, we don't care. Like, get over it.
Yeah. But since Zack Snyder says something,
everyone's
we have
going crazy.
Literally like 10 sites talking about this. Like, I'm looking on it right now. There's 10 different sites talking about this.
All the groups I'm in on Facebook, they're all rather kicking off saying it's unbelievable, it shouldn't be happening, or they're agreeing with us and saying it's a really bold move and it's fresh, it's nice.
Yeah. But it's not happening nice either way, though. So people being outraged about it is kind of ridiculous because
it's not canon. So
it never
just because he's saying it, like
But that's it for now, I guess.
It's that's all I have to say on it. That's all I can say on it, to be honest, because it's not canon. There's no point wasting much more time dwelling over it because it's not canon. Warner Bros. Have confirmed that they've changed it to be Jason Todd. The Nightwing film hopefully is coming because that sounds unbelievably awesome, and hopefully it keeps the tone.
But I hope it does happen too, even though the director quit Twitter and all that.
He might have just did it because of the James Gunn situation. He might have got cold feet and thought, right, I can't take this chance.
Exactly. And
I'd do the same thing if I was the director. I wouldn't want to lose a big job like Nightwing. I'd be like, right, it's worth quitting Twitter over.
Yeah. Twitter's not that important, really, in the grand scheme of things.
Vero's more important.
Vero. I like Vero. I like how simple it is.
Yeah, I do. There's a few things I'd change to it, but yeah.
But yeah, that's it for now. And we'll hope to see you all in the next actual podcast.
We're hopefully going to keep on doing it as long as you guys keep on enjoying it. But let us know your thoughts about the situation. Do you like Dick Grayson being the dead Robin, or do you agree with Warner Bros. And think that Jason Todd should be the dead Robin, or are you just not that bothered because it's not canon? Yeah, just let us know.
Yes, let us know down below. And we'll see you all in the next one. Bye.
Right. See you after. Bye.